10 riders got into the breakaway, including Louis Fafaka from Soudal Quickstep, or T-Rex Quickstep as they have been renamed for this race. The Belgian taking 10 points early on to become the virtual king of the mountains, dislodging the overnight leader, Joel Nicolau. Among the other riders up at the front were Pablo Castrillo and Jay Vine, both two-time stage winners at the Vuelta, plus Bruno Armirail and Lorenzo Fortunato. T-Rex and EF Education Easy Post both had 2 men in the move, and for the time being, the Visma-led peloton didn't seem too concerned about bringing them back. With 75 kilometres to go, the gap was out to over 4 minutes. After some early showers, the roads were starting to dry out and the rain gear was coming off, although there was a good chance of more wet conditions in the final. Now, the best placed man on GC at the front was Torstein Train from Bahrain Victorious, who began the day 58 seconds down on Vingegaard. The Norwegian becoming the virtual race leader, although Armirail was only 4 seconds further back. In the long valley leading to Andorra, it became apparent that the peloton were happy to let the breakaway contest the stage win, and Vingegaard was happy to let go of red. The gap creeping up to over 5 minutes, with the average speed still over 44 kilometres an hour. By the time they crossed into Andorra, the breakaway led by 6.5 minutes. Their maximum gap was 6:42, and so the peloton finally decided to up the tempo a bit. Over the next few kilometres, the 10 leaders lost around a minute, but the stage was still very much in their hands as they reached the penultimate climb, La Comella. Short and steep this one, 4.2 k's at 8%. In the peloton, Raul Garcia Piana attacked, although the leader of Arkea B&B Hotels didn't go far. No attacks yet in the front group, with their lead now cut to 4 minutes. Well, Armirail was struggling a bit as they made their way up the climb, while further back, Visma was still pacing the bunch. Jay Vine then made his move, not on the climb, but on the descent just after it, catching his fellow escapees by surprise. The Australian pulling 50 seconds clear before the final climb to Pal. With the Aussie soaring away to victory, the biggest question now was who would end up in the red jersey, Train or Armirail. The two riders were still separated by that minuscule gap of 4 seconds. Further back, Lidl Trek had decided to go on the offensive, upping the tempo for Giulio Ciccone. Even if the stage was now beyond the GC group, there could still be some fireworks. With just under 5k to go, Vine still led by 50 seconds, while Train had managed to drop Armirail in his quest for red. It wasn't all good news for UAE though, as one of their 2 leaders, Juan Ayuso, was dropped around 6 kilometres from the line. The first major summit finish, spelling the end of his GC ambitions.
Now we see the first move from the peloton behind. Giulio Ciccone strikes to gain some time on his rivals. Jonas Vingegaard, cue to that move. The red jersey gets himself right onto the wheel of the Italian from Lidl Trek.
Well, Ciccone giving it a good go, but the gradients weren't really steep enough to open up big gaps. That being said, a group containing Santiago Buitrago, Ben O'Connor, Mikel Landa and David Gaudu would lose around 30 seconds. The rest of the GC favourites coming in together as Train prepared to shrug on the red jersey and Vine celebrated another Vuelta success.
Grand Tour stage victory number 3 for the Australian. His first Grand Tour stage victory in the colours of UAE Team Emirates XRG, and he wins the first mountain test.
Well, Jay Vine has been deliberately losing time since the start of this Vuelta because he knew the breakaway was his best chance of success. The Australian putting in a flawless ride to take his 10th career win. Local knowledge helping the Andorra resident to secure a 3rd Vuelta stage victory.
I know these roads pretty well. I'm from just down the hill, so Comella is my favourite climb in all of Andorra, and I would have normally liked to have done it way harder, but you know, with the headwind, it was hard to get the guys to to really pull through and make it really hard. So I decided to go at the top, and with the wet descent, I know the descent really well. And I thought, okay, this is my chance to get away, and then there's no funny business. It's just mano a mano.
UAE doubling up after yesterday's team time trial, with Vine beating Train by 54 seconds. Fortunato, Armurai and Castrillo complete the top 5, with the peloton at 4 minutes 19. Train becomes the leader of a Grand Tour, or indeed any race, for the first time in his career. The Norwegian leads Armurai by 31 seconds. Vine also takes the polka dot jersey, which he won last year. Defending it could become an objective, depending on how much freedom he is given by the team. And we have a new white jersey in Giulio Pellizzari after Ayuso lost 7.5 minutes to the GC group. The climbing continues tomorrow as we head back into Spain for another summit finish on Huesca La Magia. Join us for that on Friday, and thanks for watching.